Scorpio, let's go ahead and see what is transpiring for you for November of 2025. We're going to give you an old Celtic cross, traditional kind of reading for the month. Show me Scorpios. Your energy is the Four of Wands reverse. So you can be spending a lot of time alone or feeling like you really don't want to welcome other people into your space. This could be because you're feeling a little unstable, or it can just be that you're feeling a bit like a loner. Maybe some insecurities are at bay as well. The King of Wands is for your challenge. So this is about confidence, entrepreneurship, and trusting in your own sense of self. We have the Queen of Swords reversed for the recent past. So if this is you, this could have certainly been you feeling a bit chaotic, angry, upset. Maybe you felt like you didn't really know how to process your emotions, or this could have been a feminine energy around you. We have the Lovers reversed for the near future. So I would say that's probably December-ish. The Lovers reverse can definitely represent a big miscommunication. It can represent infidelity in some cases. I hate to say that, right? But sometimes these things do happen, or some kind of unrequited love or an indecision even. The Eight of Cups reverse for what's going on in your mind. So you're definitely thinking a lot about the past and maybe something that you're wanting to revisit. Now, this definitely goes hand in hand with the transits in astrology, being that we're having Mercury go retrograde from Sagittarius and back into your sign. It goes back into your sign this month, but nonetheless, there's a lot of focus on past energy here. What's going on under the surface is the Queen of Wands reversed. So, I think it's kind of interesting that you're showing up as maybe having a little bit of insecurities with that Four of Wands reversed, and your challenge is being able to be confident. And what's going on under the surface is the Queen of Wands reversed. Something has triggered you, I think. I don't think this is insecurity that you just planted by yourself. I think that it's coming external from you, and I think that it's affecting you in some way. The Four of Cups reversed, this is for your advice. So this can be saying like, now is the time to get out of the rut that you feel like you've been in. Somebody external from you or somebody around you that could be affecting your energy at this time is the Knight of Wands reverse. Definitely not my favorite energy. This can definitely be somebody who is back and forth, in and out, and incredibly inconsistent. Your hopes and or fears. The Queen of Pentacles reverse. I think when I saw this Four of Wands reverse, I did think about being unstable. And then that's kind of your fear, and your hope is that you're wanting to become more stable. And so sometimes it's really just as simple as thinking about, okay, what is the next right thing? Sometimes it can be a little bit more complicated. Maybe we're needing ChatGPT to help us a budget, or maybe we're needing to ask ChatGPT for some concrete ideas on how to become more stable, either within our own body or climbing up the corporate ladder or in regards to our finances. So then we have the Judgment reversed for the end of November. Well, that's Pluto, your co-ruler along with Mars there. But the Judgment reversed is when we're not wanting to revisit something, when we've decided that something is not worth our time or our energy, and we're not wanting to bring it back. It can also be where there's a higher calling or a higher purpose that we are ignoring. The theme for the reading is the Temperance. So this is all about peace, balance, and creativity. So maybe there's something that you're needing to incorporate in your life that's going to bring you that. Maybe you're too focused in one area of your life. Maybe you're feeling discontent in your relationship. So I feel like there's, again, some kind of balance that is needed. So let's see that Four of Wands reversed. The Eight of Swords reversed. And the Six of Pentacles reversed. Okay. There can be some issues regarding your money. You can feel unstable or insecure in regards to your finances this month. I think that there's a little bit of kind of going back and forth, doing the things that make you feel comfortable, right? Doing the things that you've always done when it comes to remaining stable in regards to your finances and just your foundation as a whole. But sometimes the Four of Wands asks us to do something different, to break out of our comfort zone in some way. And I think that for a lot of you, that's probably the case. So if you've been, kind of trying to hit the nail on the head and you keep missing and the hammer's going into the wall, so to speak, it may be time to focus on something else or figure out a different way to get the nail in the wall. Okay. So that's kind of what I feel. What's the guidance for that? The Nine of Cups reversed. It's once again this lack of contentment. So if you are doing something that you are not content with, it is 100% up to you within reason to change that. And sometimes the change is not easy, but the change is necessary. the King of Wands with the Seven of Swords reversed. Well, the Leo, the Leo, the King of Wands can be about Leo. Leo's about self-expression. Sometimes it can talk about being independent a little bit, right? It's the heart. What's in your heart? What do you need? And sometimes it can talk about where we're needing to focus on what we want, our heart's desire. Now, the Seven of Swords in the upright, like this, can represent where we're focused more on groups and protecting others. And while that's a good quality to have, for some reason, it's telling you to do the opposite. It doesn't mean that you can't care about people. It doesn't mean that you can't donate to charity or whatever. But the Seven of Swords reverse is when we put that focus on ourselves, when we're focused on protecting ourselves, protecting our heart, or focused on self expression in one way or another. And for some of you, you may have this guilt of feeling like you're just never doing enough, like you are never enough. But Spirit or God is here to tell you that you are. Okay. So the Queen of Swords reverse in your recent past. Well, I feel like for some of you, if you are this Queen of Swords reverse, I think that you just left quietly and calmly. And it feels like it's in regards to a situation that may have unsettled you or made you feel not at peace. It may have felt like chaos, like you couldn't figure out how to handle your emotions. For some of you, you may have had these issues where you would get triggered and say things that you don't really mean. And so in the past, you could have decided to try to make peace with that and go about conflict in a different way, or there was something that maybe you just stopped responding to because that's where your peace was. Sometimes no response is the best response, in my opinion. And for some of you, that's exactly what you did, especially with that world there. And it seems like that is what brought you peace. What caused the Queen of Swords reversed? The Knight of Wands. That's what's showing up in November, but it's in the reverse. Oh no. Oh no. Well, hello retrograde season, right? Hello Mercury retrograde, hello Uranus retrograde, hello Saturn and Neptune retrograde. You know what I'm saying? Jesus help us. So there was somebody in your past that you may have felt was a bit immature. Okay. You may have felt like they were immature. You just maybe couldn't take them very seriously, although maybe you were attracted to them, maybe they made you laugh or something like that, but it just wasn't for you. Um, if this wasn't about a specific person, no, it was about a person. It was definitely about a person. That was about a person. Let's see what's going on in your mind for, yeah, look at that. Eight of Cups reverse, Six of Swords reverse. You got the past on your mind and the mind on your past. What is this in regards to? The Temperance reversed. Remember, that's the theme for your reading. You still do not have peace about a past situation. And I think that sometimes you guys go back and forth between the limerence and the reality of a situation, or you go back and forth between the confusion, the idealization, the fantasy of something, and the reality of something. And this thing, whatever this is, that has unsettled you to your core, you still think about it. And I want you I don't want to tell you to stop thinking about that. It's like, if I sit here and tell you not to think of a pink elephant, your mind is going to think of a pink elephant. That's just how our brains work, right? But I think that you've done a lot of healing in regards to whatever that situation is, and I think now it's time for you to start living, because there's a point where we can get to where it's like we're always healing, maybe we're always healing, we're always healing, we're always healing, and then it's like, okay, when can we make time for living? And I'm feeling very called to clear that for some reason. I'm getting very called to like clear that. Okay. So I don't know. I don't know why I was getting called to do that. I just heard citrine. Citrine. So that's a crystal. Maybe you guys need to get some citrine. I don't know. Weird. All right. So let's see that Lovers reversed for the near future. Page of Cups reversed. I just don't think you're feeling it. There seems to be something that once again is unsettling you. There's something that's unsettling you. There's something that you're not connecting with when it comes to a specific person in your life. I'm just going to be honest. This feels very like them coded. Why is that? The Knight of Pentacles. It feels like, once again, you want something rooted in reality. I think that you are tired of listening to what somebody is saying or how they're feeling or whatever it is that they may say, whether it's true or not. You want like tangible efforts, you want tangible results. So if somebody's like, "Oh, I love you so much," or something like that, and but instead they turn around and they start talking to other people or following other people online that you're like, "Why are you following?" That's disrespectful towards you or whatever. You're like, "Yeah, this doesn't like what you say doesn't matter. It's what you do that matters." That's kind of what I'm getting. And for some of you, it's really, if it's not about love, which I feel like it's about a specific person at least. For some of you, it can be about needing to turn your creativity into concrete ideas and allow yourself the tangible results from them. Jeez. Scorpio, the Queen of Wands reverse and the Eight of Cups reverse. This can be about a certain person that still triggers your subconscious, okay? That triggers you, your anger, your insecurities. And again, there's that focus on what is real and what is not. But usually we just remember how someone or something made us feel. That's what we remember. We don't always like maybe remember what they say, like we can, right? We can, but we remember how people or a person or a situation made us feel. And how something has made you feel in the past is insecure, angry. Okay, I heard that's valid. So I hear for a lot of you that you're valid in feeling the way that you feel. But you also owe it to yourself to get your mind frame out of that constantly repeating the scenarios in your head and letting it bring you down. And now it's time to start living your life, is what I'm feeling. The Four of Cups reversed with the Knight of Swords reversed for your advice. The Judgment reversed. This is like, all right, so you guys may not like this, okay? But if you guys have been feeling, effing sorry for yourself, if you've been feeling sorry for yourself, if you just feel like you can't see the good in your life, and sometimes it's really difficult to see it, especially with everything going on in the world right now, whatever's going on in your personal life, who knows what it is, but there is good there. Even though sometimes it may feel like the bad outweighs the good. If you can focus on whatever it is that you have to be grateful for, you can really initiate a mindset shift inside of yourself, because you just kind of going along with whatever life is throwing at you instead of being like, you know what, I can take this and I can make it my bitch. I can make it my bitch. I can transmute this. That's what you're needing to do instead of just kind of going along with it. Somebody in your life. Oh, okay. I'm hearing Mercury conjunct Venus. So I know that Mercury is going to conjunct Venus, I think late November. And I'm feeling like there's something around that date because that's kind of when somebody can, maybe put the moves on you a little bit. The things that they say can be really sweet, but it's in Scorpio. So it can be a little like sexual or deep, very vulnerable. I don't, anyway, I'm getting that. God, I can't remember what date that is. I know it's in late November. Anyway, so somebody here who may have been in and out, acting like an idiot, an absolute fool, to be honest, they may be showing up now where it counts, or they may be attempting to show up in a way that proves themselves to be supportive of you. This can be somebody who's like spending money on you, trying to, I'm not saying they're buying your love or anything, but they're spending money on you, or they're trying to support you. They're trying to be that kind of like rock that you can count on. What's the guidance for this? The Six of Cups reversed. What are you asking them to do in regards to this person? The Seven of Pentacles reversed. It's really about assessment, and you really needing to ask, is the risk worth the reward? What are you getting out of this, to be honest? But it's asking you to handle this in a mature manner. Okay. It's also asking you not to hold grudges. I know that's really, really difficult, especially for us fixed placements. I'm a Venus and Scorpio conjunct Pluto. Okay. I'm a Taurus rising, Taurus moon. I have that very on my ascendant, descendant. So I understand. Okay. But it's telling you that you expecting this person to hurt because you're still hurting from them hurting you is not going to do anything for you or for them. Your feelings are your feelings. It's not their feelings, and it's doing nothing but harm. It doesn't mean you have to forgive somebody, but carrying that energy with you, it's a waste of time, I think. You have the Queen of Pentacles with the Justice for what you want. So again, and this is kind of the theme for your reading anyway, is the balance. It is the balance. It is, a higher level of commitment. It is being very sound with your finances and being very rooted in reality. And that's what you want. You want to make the right decisions, but maybe you're afraid that you won't. So it's telling you, put wherever you're going to put the energy in with that Page of Pentacles is what's going to grow. So if you keep putting it into, I don't know, content that you're consuming that's not doing anything for you, it's literally just wash, rinse, repeat, in and out the ear. There's no sustenance. It's like constantly just eating sugar all the time without any vegetables, or, you know what I'm saying? Or any like good sugars like fruit. So like, don't just give your attention so freely to things that are sucking you dry. Do it with intent. The Judgment reversed with the Death reversed. Wow. Queen of Swords reversed. See that old energy from the past that you figured out how to kind of like alleviate the triggers, or at least learn how to deal with them better. That's coming back up for review. What have you learned? Have you actually changed? Or was that just one instance? Because if your challenge is confidence and being very honest with yourself about if it's actual genuine confidence or if it's just a mask, this month is going to test you, because it's going to ask, have you really changed in the way that you think, the way that you react in regards to your emotional maturity or whatever it is? Because you may be triggered. You may be triggered at the end of this month where you're like, ah, and you lose it a little bit. Or this could be somebody else in your life. Okay. But you're gonna know, right? Show the world the real you, Earth, and then stand strong. With defense as your shield, find strength and preservation, guarding what matters most. So again, like I told you, this is about protecting yourself, your own sense of self-expression, your identity, things like this. And it's asking you to be incredibly authentic in the way that you maneuver through the world. This is the time where you need to have some kind of culmination. And I told you, tangible results in regards to what you authentically want and who you authentically are. And making sure that you protect what matters to you the most. And all you have to do is look at your heart to know what that is. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you guys want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on my website at www.violettaalexis.com. If you would like to book a scheduled session with me, or text and or call spontaneously, you can do so at hipsy.com/violettaalexis. All of that information can be found in the description box below or in the pinned comment in the chat. Thanks a lot, you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great mid-October.